Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
That brings the blessing of peace dwell within us this Christmas, and may we share that peace with all people near and far. Amen.
Amen. Dave Sampson will now lead us in the salute of our flag.
Salute, pledge, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to start today's meeting. We have several presentations. The first presentation will be for Scott Park of Park Farming. Scott received the California Farm Bureau's Leopold Conservation Award, and we are going to now play this video first, and then we'll do the presentation. Thank you.
I started farming in 1974, first generation. Just had a friend get me a job in college. Ended up the foreman asking me to go grow tomatoes with him. So that's how I got into farming. In 1974 through 1985, probably used as many chemicals as possible as anyone in California on using it to farm because I had no idea. Right now we put on 3, and the 3 are compost, microorganisms, and seaweed. The way that it's evolved has been totally serendipitous. It's been quite a challenges. We've almost been bankrupt 3 times, but we kept seeing positive things of letting sort of nature do what nature can do. And so our farm system has sort of evolved through time of a very minimalist attitude. We don't think we're smarter than nature, okay? We think that if we let nature do what it can do, for us not constantly getting in and manipulating, but sort of trying to go with it, that nature's done some really good stuff. And it's really helped our farm. It's the basis of our farm, is the soil health. Our farm's weird, and people think that we're crazy, which is okay. Everything we've done, it's just been by guess and by golly and observation. So yeah, no, I had no idea we would end up farming like this, and it's just been this constant, slow evolution.
Our farm has always been an open book. I think it comes naturally. That's the way my dad's always been. You know, if anyone has ever had a question about why we're doing something or how we're doing it, we've always welcomed to come to the field and look at it. You know, stick a shovel in the ground, smell it, and find out for yourself.
I feel really good about what we're doing. I mean, I feel like our farm could be applicable to any farm in the world in a positive way. And then we also are firm believers on the argument that the sheep, their pulling action is very healthy for the soil, that you're getting exudates, so it's really good for the microbial life, and there's a kickback. It's also just a nice working relationship. Our farm has less headaches. We don't get the biggest yields, and we don't shoot for the biggest yields. But what we shoot for is constantly improving it and letting nature solve problems. It's the same principles the whole farm functions on, is that everything's to make the soil healthier. Okay? Don't do stuff. Don't go backwards.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go up front now and do the presentations. Okay, so Park family, please come forward. Nobody here? We're supposed to be here. Oh, okay. Well, let me just. Yeah. No, okay. Anyway, the Scott Park family is farms in Meridian area, your district, I believe, Mike. And the Leopold Award is an award given by the California Farm Bill. They give one a year. And, you know, throughout the state of California. So it's really an honor for us in Sutter County to have a recipient of this award. And anyway, Scott's family is, like I said, he said in their farmers in 74 in this area. And he, you know, this Leopold Award, the only other one I can remember that we've ever gotten in Sutter County is when Almont, I believe, got it in 8 or 10 years ago. So this is really a great honor for us to have a second one in Sutter County. So we'll have to get this to Scott's family. I thought they were going to be here, but I guess they didn't make it. Probably couldn't find a place to park. All right, well, thank you. We'll just set that down and we'll move on. Oh, thank you.
I know they're not here, but I know a lot of us know who Brian and Scott are. Brian, Sutter High School graduate. They do a lot for the community. They're great people. Farm quite a bit in Meridian right there. Organic growers, pretty successful because they work hard. And was everyone's success? You're successful because you're a hard worker and, you know, and critical thinker. And great family. So congratulations to them. And Lisa Herbert, like I said, thank you to your staff. We're lucky we got a great ag department and great farmers here in this area.
Let me just finish the one part I didn't cover. The farming operation is the leadership in regenerative farming practices. They grow 15 to 20 types of crops per year and use cover crops, compost applications, and crop residue annually to return an average of 15 tons of organic matter biomass per acre back to the soil. Okay, now that's pretty important. Yeah. Okay. Is the Sutter County Board of Supervisors wishes to recognize Jack Munger, Cody Carrier, and Chloe Carrier and Jason Smith for their outstanding achievement in shooting and academics. Will you guys please come forward? No speakers, no public speakers.
On. All right. Dave, where you at, Dave? I'd like to give this young man a round of applause here as well. All right. It's just... And there's one thing about shooting sports out of all... Well, we're just going to talk about sports in general. Out of all the sports at any of these local schools, what sport do you think is getting the most scholarships and getting our kids to a higher education and out of here? It's the shooting sports. All right? And it's not as easy as you think. They don't just get to jump in the car and drive 2 minutes down the road and go practice, or go to the locker room, get dressed up, run out to the football field. No. They have to load up, drive a half hour, shoot for 2 hours, then drive home for a half hour, then do homework. That's shooting sports. It's commitment. It's not just the kids, it's the parents. And of all these parents here, most of them work are both working, which means they got to juggle to get their kid from school and back to practice. So it takes a lot of commitment. And for you all to be able to go on to the next level is amazing. We love to see that. We love to see what we got. What do we got? Are all three shooting at the next level right now? How awesome is that? Amazing. And how many scholarships were given out just last year alone? 8? Was it 8? 9?
Yeah, 7 of them got scholarships. We had a banner year this last year. One of them to a trade school, and 6 of them to major universities. 3 of them were shooting scholarships, and that's what was done today. Jackson and Chloe, 4.0 students. They got academic scholarships plus a shooting scholarship. Jack got a shooting scholarship to Midland University. Jackson and Chloe are both attending William Penn University and shooting for their teams. Those are both those teams. William Penn was national champion last year. Midland is well known in the college circuit. And right now the college sports for shooting, for shotgun shooting, is exploding. And lots of scholarships available. So my joke is we had lots of smart kids on our team last year. So we did well.
All right. Remember, and you guys just won another championship.
We did.
Yeah, just literally last month, I believe. Yeah. Well, tell us about that.
We just finished the sporting clay season. Our JV team actually swept the series shoots, first place in every single one, and then took first place in the state championship. Our varsity team, they were second place in the series shoots, did very well competing with another team who had 3 master class shooters on their team that were just doing really well. And then they ended up taking 3rd in the state championship, but did very well.
All right, and remember, February 10th is their annual fundraiser dinner. February 10th. So if you'd like to donate, buy tickets, show up. It's a great fundraiser. Great team puts on a great event that night. Thank you very much.
Let's give Dave Sampson a big hand. The band and team. Okay. Kimber Lehman Middleton, please come forward. Deputy Sheriff Kimber Lehman Middleton has retired after 30 years of dedicated law enforcement service to the residents of Sutter County. She is a 30-year veteran of the Sutter County Sheriff's Office, SCSO, and has began her career with the Sutter County Sheriff's Office volunteer in 1993, and when she started as a Reserve Patrol Deputy in 1996. She began her full-time career as a correctional officer in June of 1999, and then proceeded to the Deputy Sheriff's in June of 2005. After being hired as a full-time patrol deputy in 2005 with Sutter County Sheriff's Office, she worked with various assignments and was a canine handler for most of her career, and has participated with 3 different canines dogs since 2007. She is part of the Sutter County Honor Guard program for 7 years, and has served as a Sheriff Marine Patrol as a boat patrol deputy, and worked in the office in charge of field training officers and also part of the sheriff posse. She completed her education from Yuba College and graduated with a police academy in 1998 and completed her certificate basic post 2009, intermediate post 2013, advanced post 2018. She was recipient of the 2 sheriff's accommodation, one which she was preceded for her efforts and to capture a burglary suspect who had been on the run for a long time. She resides in Sutter with her husband, together with shared 6 children and 12 grandchildren. Good for you. We don't have any yet. Her hobbies are riding horses, training dogs, camping, and enjoying spending time with her family. Sutter County Board of Supervisors office is congratulating and sincere appreciation to Deputy Sheriff Kimber Lehman Middleton, and cause the name of each member of be affixed on the gold resolution as evidence of the Sutter County Board of Supervisors' individual and collective appreciation for 30 years of service to Sutter County and its citizens, and wish the Deputy Sheriff Lehman Middleton and her family good wishes upon the occasion of her retirement. I was holding it the whole time. It's not often that we have somebody in law enforcement that served for 30 years. I think that's truly incredible. The service you've given to the citizens of Sutter County is commendable, and I really appreciate it. Would you like a few? See? Are you sure? A few words. Okay. Congratulations. No. We got 3 more to go. Okay. Okay. Sutter County Board of Supervisors wish to acknowledge Colmont Joel's operation for Joel Orchards in Marysville on receiving the California Farm Bureau Distinguished Service Award in agriculture. Oh, Colmont, where are you guys? Come on up. Bring your better half. So this is, they only usually give one of these awards out per year, but this year they gave out 2. One to you and your family, and one to a guy in God, I'm trying to think. Yeah, in Placer County. So anyway, it's truly an honor. Again, Sutter County is represented very well by our local citizenry. And Colmont and I served on the Yuba-Sutter Farm Bureau Board for over 20 years together. And I'd like to congratulate you guys. And this is the plaque we have for Colmont and his family. Chuck's trying to come up. Go on, do you like to say a few words?
Just a couple. Would really like to thank Board of Supervisors for this. I'm really honored and humbled by this recognition. And sometimes I start thinking my grandfather came to this town 1907 and been farming, family's been farming since then. I have a few members of Joel family here, if they stand up. So, yeah.
Why don't they all come up and get a picture? Come on.
Can I just say a couple words? I just want to say that, you know, I've been lucky enough also to work with Colmont on the Farm Bureau Board. And I can say this confidently that, boy, you work hard, okay? Like, everybody's farmers, everybody works hard, but, you know, for everybody to put in the work after hours to also do that and promote agriculture and do everything, and young agriculture, right? FFA, all of it. Everything that you've done has been fantastic. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Come on, you guys. Come on. You got to hurt. Do they ever want to say something?
No.
Come on up. Come on. Okay. Next we have Under Sheriff Scott Smallwood. Scott, would you please come up? He's got to go around around the Cape Horn. Okay. So Sutter County Board of Supervisors wishes to acknowledge Under Sheriff Scott Smallwood for receiving the Second in Command Award, known as the John Scully Award, from the California Sheriff Association in 2023. This prestigious award recognizes the top undersheriff in California, someone who goes above and beyond to improve the community relations through involved ideal programs and relationship with the community. Scott, congratulations.
All right. Matt said I was forced to say a few words. Yeah. First of all, thank you to the board. I mean, it's an honor. As I received this award from the sheriff, I still don't feel I deserve it. I think there's tons of second in commands that do such a phenomenal job, and they're great men and women. But with that said, I am thankful for the sheriff and the opportunities he's given me and to be a part of that group. The service is just phenomenal. I will thankful for my command staff, because without them I wouldn't be here. And then just serving the community of Sutter. I mean, that's the key component of what we do and we love doing. And so just thankful for you. And then last but not least, my beautiful bride, and the keys to my success. So I'm thankful for her. So, but just a huge thank you, and we'll continue doing what we're doing, and we love serving Sutter County, and we'll continue to serve them as full-heartedly.
Thank you. Congratulations. Guadalupe Rivera, please come forward. So, Guadalupe Rivera, on behalf of Sutter County Board of Supervisors, I wish to express our sincere appreciation for your 15 years of service, loyal service, and faithful service to the citizens of Sutter County. It's the same thing. Easier to read up.
How do I follow the undersheriff? I don't know. Well, I just want to say it's an honor and a privilege to be able to work in the community where I live. And I'm also equally as grateful to work with a great team of not only engineers, but also a great team in the department. So thank you all.
Talk about what you do. Well, thank you, Guadalupe.
I have a presentation. I want to talk a little bit more.
Okay. That's what you do. You guys, let's get in the picture here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chuck.
All right. First of all, Scott, first of all, this kind of goes for where Scott. Hey, love working with you. Watching what you guys go through, your interaction with the community is unreal. Great job. Like I said, thankful for both of you. Guadalupe, when I first ran, I inherited Larry Munger's committees. Public Works is one of them, and I've absolutely loved working with you over the last 5 years. I mean, it's been an honor, a privilege. Hopefully, we're celebrating you in 15 years. So, because I love working with you. I'll come back for that. Thank you for everything. But thank you. So, before, I want to wish Larry Munger a happy birthday, because it is his birthday today. And we got to sing. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Larry. Happy birthday to you. Man, and the funny thing is, so when Larry retired, he didn't really retire because he still sits on the LAFCO board. So we're very lucky he didn't retire, so we get all his experience and knowledge. So we're very grateful for you, Larry. If you're out at a football game on a Thursday or Friday night in Sutter, you're going to see Larry working the sidelines with his boys every Friday night. So glad to see you guys out there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you all for coming, and I'd like to say this has been an honor presenting these presentations today. This Distinguished Service from California Farm, the Leopold Award, a 30-year retiree, and all of the student shooters. I think that's incredible. And Guadalupe. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Where did I leave my... Oh, there we go. Okay. Boy, the place is going to empty out. Now we get to work. We'll just give it a minute for those who wish to leave, and then we'll continue on with the agenda. I was going to tell your daddy was just turning a little red. Yeah, we did. See you, John.
What's that? No. No. Well, there's plenty that would give you feeding, I'm sure.
Amen. I'll just say that for later. I think we're ready now. Okay. Members of the public will be allowed to address the board on items of interest that are within the subject matter and jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. State law prohibits that no direction or action may be taken upon any item not appearing on the posted agenda. Okay, we're moving on now to the consent calendar. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion and a second. The consent calendar groups together items of interest that, which are considered non-controversial or which prior policy direction has been given to staff and it requires only routine action by the board. The chair will advise the audience that the matter may be adopted in one total motion. However, the board may, at its option or upon the request of the member of the public, consider any matter separately. We have a motion and a second from 1 through 10.
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Aye. Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay, we now have a public hearing and
Public hearing to consider approval to increase various fees for the Sheriff's Civil and Records Divisions as required by the California State Legislature, Senate Bill 564, and adoption of the resolution revising the Sheriff's fee schedule effective January 1, 2024.
Brandon, you have the floor.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Honorable Chair, members of the board. As it was just stated, this is a statutory requirement that's in compliance with Senate Bill 564, which will become effective on January 1st. The Sheriff's Office is required to serve civil processes, including summons, warrants, eviction, wage garnishments, civil lawsuits, small claims, restraining orders, levies on properties, and essentially a bunch of other documents that are all tied to our civil division. So this particular bill will increase our fees in 41 different categories. The fees range anywhere from 25 cents up to about $35 in one particular category. I think it's also important to note that the bill retains the existing fee waiver to process for low-income individuals that are not disproportionately impacted by the fee impacts. And I'm happy to answer any questions about the report and all the applicable sections that are in your board packet.
We now open the public hearing. Is there any member of the public wish to address the board? Seeing none, we close the public hearing.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Move approval.
Second.
Recommended action.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Moving on to number 12.
Excuse me.
Yes.
To the chair, Supervisor. I believe that, did we open up for public comment before the consent calendar? I didn't know if there was, if we.
Ooh, did I miss that?
We did address that, and it didn't look like there was any public comment cards for that, for the consent calendar.
Okay. Okay. I didn't have any public comment cards.
Okay.
Okay. We're now going to item number 12.
Approval.
No.
Yeah, right now, yep.
No, I'm sorry. That would be number 15.
15?
Yeah, item number.
Depends on what he's talking about.
Where are we at here? O'Neill. Yeah.
Well, through the chair, if you were to speak about it on item 15,
yeah.
we could speak back and we could actually have dialogue back and forth. If you were to speak about it now, we couldn't speak back and forth because you'd be talking about it in. So if that makes sense, Brett, I would
Item 15 is an appearance item, so those comments should be brought up upon that item being brought up, and I'll make sure I ask for you guys for any public comment.
Through the chair, do you want to make sure they turn in cards if you guys want to speak on that? But okay, good.
Gina's got some. Good, excellent. Thank you, Gina. Okay.
Approval of an independent contractor agreement in the amount not to exceed $707,521 with GHD Inc. for preparation of a drainage study, environmental documents, utility coordination and plans, specifications, and engineer's estimate for the Oswald Road Improvement Project. Waive the requirement for a request for proposals for consultant selection under the provision of Sutter County Ordinance Code Section 1650, and authorization for the Director of Development Services to execute and administer the agreement.
David. I don't think that, is that Mike on?
Good afternoon, board members. David Tom, Senior Civil with the Development Services Department, and a few weeks ago, we were here before the board talking about the Oswald 99 intersection, and there's going to be a traffic signal put in there, and Caltrans is doing all the design work, going to be bidding that out. This is actually for the design of improvements from that intersection to Railroad Avenue. So we are wanting to improve that to a urban collector standard, which would be a 55-foot public right-of-way with 4.5-foot sidewalks on the north and south sides, curb gutter as well, and then a 13-foot travel lane going each direction with a 15-foot center turn lane. So we are wanting to have GHD design all the improvements for that, as well as coordinate with getting utilities moved out of the right-of-way, and then also doing a drainage study and designing a pipe that would actually go all the way down to Gil-Sizer, which is another half mile to the west of that intersection. So it would provide a lot of good drainage for that area as well. We'd have to tie into Gil-Sizer Drainage District as part of that. The county staff will be doing that part, but GHD will be doing all the design work. So we have worked with them for the last couple of years through the design of the intersection improvements, and they've done a really good job for us coordinating that and designing at least up to 30%. Caltrans took it over from there, and they were pleased with their work as well. So we've been working with them in the past, and so we just wanted to continue that work in the future. And they were selected through the county processes, and then through the RFP process, and they were selected as the best consultant for that project. So we wanted to continue working with them on this project as well. So as far as the budget for this, $700,000, and $320,000 of that is already budgeted in this budget year. The remainder will be part of next year's budget in the road fund. So any questions regarding the project? Or
through the chair?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a question, because I know we get this from the public all the time of why do you have to pay for all these studies all the time, right? But what it ultimately leads to is the engineering of the project, correct?
Yes, they are doing not just the studies, but the engineering plans and specifications so that we can bid the project out to contractors.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So any other question for David? Okay, first of all, there are no speaker cards on this item. Is there any member of the public who would like to speak on this item, number 12? Seeing none?
The only question I would have is that road design,
Hey, Brad, why don't you take the podium there, please?
Brad Foster.
I talk loud enough. I don't need that. The only question I have is, because I live in Sutter, is that road large enough for a semi to pull out without going into oncoming traffic?
Yeah, that's part of the reason.
Not, you need to go back to the drawing board.
Right.
Because out of Sutter we have a mess. The county has never come through on the standards of the permit for building that trucking outfit out there. When I complained about it, they say I got to make a written complaint because county staff, county employees did not do their job and sign that trucking outfit off 5 years ago. You cannot have a truck pull out of that yard without you having to stop or they have to stop. I don't know why I have to sign a written complaint for county staff to do their job. I know this, but you're doing the same thing down there with that trucking outfit, Oswald Road. And that would be my main concern. If the design is not designed well enough to what's on that road, then we need to go back to the drawing board from step one. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead, David.
So GHD will be responsible for making sure that the turning movements of trucks going in and out is adequate with the proposed lane widths and all that. But as part of the staff report, as what I was saying earlier, is that there is going to be a 15-foot center turn lane that can accommodate some of that turning in and out of driveways as well. So it should be sufficient. But we haven't done an actual turn template on that yet.
Okay.
But that will be part of GHD's work.
Any other questions or comments for David or for the public? I just have one comment. Once again, the county is paying out of the road fund, which impacts the total county, $707,000 for, and $521 for road improvements that we should have had done when the truck yards were put in originally. And it's, you know, it's really impacting our road fund and our roads as well. And we just need to get these truck yards to pay their fair share when they come in and make sure that it happens. That's water under the bridge. This was done a long time ago. All these truck yards were all approved more than 8 years ago. So it's not new. It's just a big problem that keeps accumulating. And it's impacting all the people that travel Oswald Road and live on near Oswald Road as well. So anyway, those are my comments. And it's nobody's fault. It's just one of the things that slipped by, and we should have done a better job originally.
We do.
Okay.
I don't know if you...
Through the chair, I mean, if I could just add, but we do have a cost-sharing agreement on that, correct?
Yeah, I was just
So it's not like we're spending all of our own money on that.
Well, for the design, we'll be...
For the design, but I mean for the actual construction.
We have about $1.2 million in deferred improvement agreement.
Okay, I just want people to understand that, so thank you.
But what's the estimate cost of doing this road? Isn't it 2.5?
It could be between 1.5 and $2 million, probably.
Okay. Okay. I just, you know, it's an impact. Okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay. Item number 13. Guadalupe, you are back.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the National Flood Insurance Program Community Rating System for 2022 5-year verification report.
Good afternoon. Yes, Guadalupe Rivera, Principal Engineer with Development Services Department, and I'm here with an informational item to share with you. As you mentioned, the results of the NFIP CRS 5-year verification report for 2022. As background, the NFIP provides support for various aspects related to flood, such as federally backed mortgages, disaster relief, and grant funding. And the federally backed flood insurance is one aspect of the NFIP. Because the county participates in the CRS, flood insurance is available to the community at a discounted rate. Every 5 years, FEMA performs an evaluation of activities in the county that the county has performed and provides a score. The recently completed report was spearheaded by our Associate Civil Engineer, Nick Ramos, and I'd like to publicly recognize his efforts during the evaluation. He worked relentlessly to ensure that every point that we were eligible for that we received, so I'm very appreciative of his work for that. Thanks to his efforts, the county retained a Class 6 ratings, which equates to a 20% discount for flood insurance. The county received just over 2,000 points for the effort that was completed between 2017 and 2022, with approximately 1,300 points awarded thanks to our countywide GIS system and work produced by our Office of Emergency Management as well. So I'd like to thank them for their efforts and cooperation as we work through the evaluation process as well. So what does this mean overall? This graphic shows a representation of the savings between 2017 and 2022, and almost $900,000 was saved by all flood policies over that 5-year period. Just over $100,000 of that was saved by the county alone for the protection of our county property. Over that same 5-year period, the cost of staff time to manage the program is approximately $330,000. Like almost everything, the cost of flood insurance continues to increase annually. In 2022, approximately 75% of the community saw an increase in their flood insurance rates. Therefore, maintaining the efforts of this program is important to achieve a discount for flood insurance for the community and the county. This concludes my prepared presentation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Guadalupe? I just have one, Guadalupe. So we're at presently a 6, and if we wanted to get down to a 5, we don't really know what that actual cost and staff time and actual physical cost that would be to the, to the county yet.
So Nick helped prepare some of that estimate, and so our estimate is that it would take about an additional $150,000 approximately in staff time in order for us to obtain the additional points necessary to get us from a 6 to a 5. And what that would ultimately mean would be that there'd be an additional $132,000 in savings overall and about $16,000 in savings for the county.
Now, is that $150,000 divided by 1 year or multiple years?
That's over the 5-year period.
5-year period. So that would only be roughly $30,000, let's say, per year.
Yes.
And the citizenry would save like 130 for the 30,000.
About 130,000 over that 5-year period as well. So.
It's 130 over the 5 years,
not per
year. Okay.
That's correct. Yeah. And in order for us to provide that additional effort, we would also need to have additional staffing. Some of our neighboring jurisdictions actually have staff specifically dedicated to this program and managing this program, which is something that we currently do not have somebody specifically dedicated for the program. Like Nick, for example, as I mentioned, he does other work and other projects as well in addition to the CRS program. So that's something to consider as well.
Okay. Is there...
through the chair, just a quick question. Is there a way that we could use them like we do at JPAs or use them for both counties so that we're saving some money? If the work that they're doing there, they can do here, and we don't have to hire somebody completely new to do it, and they can do the work for both counties? Is that possible?
My understanding is that we get the credit for what the work that is done within our county itself, okay. But that's certainly something that we can take a look at and see if there could be any joint efforts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. This is just an informational item, so no votes required. Any other questions? Moving on. Okay, number 14, independent contractor agreement with Woodward and Kearns in the amount not to exceed $86,000 for the water year 23 annual report for Sutter groundwater subbasin.
Yes, I'll stick around for the next one as well. So so this is a agreement for $86,000 for the annual report that's required in order for us to be in compliance with the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act, also known as SGMA. And so SGMA requires that every year after the GSP has been adopted, or the Groundwater Sustainability Plan, that every year that we provide an annual report based on the information of the previous water year. And so this report will, as I mentioned, incorporate all the information gathered from the previous water year, and it's a requirement of SGMA. I'm happy to report that in October of this year, we received notification that the county was recommended for an award of an $8.53 million grant, and therefore the costs associated with this annual report will be fully reimbursable through that grant.
Good. That was in our report. Okay, are there any? We have no speaker cards on this item. Item number 14. Is there any member of the public who wishes to speak to this item? Seeing none, we'll move from. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Yes. Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay, moving on. Number 15. Approval. Go ahead.
Approval of a new memorandum of understanding with the Sutter County Professional Firefighters Association for the period of January 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2025.
Good afternoon, Vice Chairman, members of the board. Gina Rowland, Human Resources Director for Sutter County. Last September, your board approved a letter of agreement extending the previous agreement with the Sutter County, between the County of Sutter and the Sutter County Professional Firefighters Association to June 30th, 2024. As part of that agreement, we agreed to meet and confer over wages for an increase to be effective over wages, sorry. So the county and the association reached tentative agreement and have agreed to a one-year contract extension. So the contract will now expire June 30th, 2025. The major terms of the extended agreement include an 8.25% salary increase effective December 30th and another 8.25% salary increase effective June 29th, 2024. These increases will bring the salary for fire engineer to within 5% of the market average, which is consistent with action the board has taken for other employee groups. Other changes were changes to bring their terms and conditions consistent with what has already been negotiated with other bargaining units, changes to vacation accrual, maximum accrual limit, that kind of thing. We also updated educational incentive pay to add a new pay for possession of the State Fire Marshal Firefighter II certificate, and also increased the incentive pay for the State Fire Marshal Company Officer certificate. And then something that's new for this unit is tuition reimbursement in the amount of $1,000 per employee that could also be used to repay student loans. So the cost of the increase in this fiscal year is approximately $62,726, and that, again, that's for the remainder of this fiscal year. And the 8.25% increase effective in June, paid in July of 2024, will cost approximately $306,520. So the CAO's office has identified one-time funds that can be used to pay for the cost of these increased salaries through to June 30th, 2025. And I believe that they will be coming to the board in a separate agenda item with that recommendation. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
Through the chair.
Yes.
No questions. Just a comment. Guys, I want you to know you've been on our mind since I've been sitting in this seat. This is long overdue. We all know it. I think every single one of us agrees. And there's still more work to do, right? We've still got to keep working on it. You know, we're having a lot of different conversations about how do we get this done so that we don't have to worry about the funding anymore. And we're working on it. It's complicated. It's not easy. But we'll get there, right? And there's a lot of smart people in the room who are working on it, and I feel very confident we're going to get that done. And I wish we could have done this for you a long time ago. But you've deserved it forever. You know, we know the lives you save in our community, and my family has been helped by all of your service, everything. I mean, it's personal to me. I don't want to take anything away from the Sheriff's Department, but I know that they get a lot of attention, and they're important, obviously. But I'm just very happy that we can finally get this done, and we will keep working on it, okay? Thank you guys so much.
We do have one speaker card. Tanner Skillfold.
Hello. So am I able to ask you guys questions?
Yes.
Okay, besides Measure A, Nick, you say that you're working on it. What is the possibility? Because these men absolutely deserve a raise, but we also need a fully funded fire department after that date. Could you educate me on where you plan to get that money?
What? Through the chair?
Yeah, we can.
Well, okay, so it's...
Man,
I can only talk about the salary.
No, excuse me,
before the agenda.
Chairman Conant, we can talk about items that are agendized, and so this the MOU with the Firefighters Association can be discussed, but not more global issues about where funding can come from, tax measures, things like that, because it's not agendized.
Okay. Can I just go for my spiel then?
Yes, please.
I'm here to express my concern about the fire department. I think it's crazy that we don't fully fund our first responders. You guys preach we need a little bit more money and a little bit more, but it should be criminal to ask the general public for more tax money at this time. We are coming out of COVID, which is our economy's not doing well. Most people can't afford another tax, but they do deserve to be safe. It should come before anything else besides our K through 12 schools. We, the people, deserve to be safe. We deserve to be fully funded and fully operational first responding units, and we should not do that with volunteers. No man or woman willing to risk their life, their time, or their mental health to do the job of a fireman should do it without pay. And instead of looking for the general public for more money, you guys should be turning back around and maybe fixing the current budget to figure out how you can keep us safe. I also want to throw in there that these meetings should be changed so that other people in the general public can be here and express their concerns to you, because I know there are a lot of working people that would appreciate to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Any other public comment before we go back to the board?
Public comment, but it's probably the wrong time.
Go ahead, Brad.
She mentioned COVID. I think it's time we all go back to work. I had to go into the auditor's office. Need to see someone on one of my ranches. And he's working at home today. Here's his card and his email. Is he going to work tomorrow? Because we got to talk numbers. I got to look him eye to eye. I went in the next day and I talked to the young man. We got it straightened out. I said, oh, by the way, I need to talk to somebody about my boat tax. Oh, that's not me. This is her. She's working at home today. So here's her card and her email. So I call her. So for me to go in and get my boat tax now, I got to go in. I've been in 3 times now to take care of a tax problem. Well, something I learned on the second day of going in is that the county no longer sends out records on what you've done with your orchards. I took an orchard out 3 years ago, but I'm still paying that value on the land because I didn't know they weren't getting it from the other sources where I fill it out every year. So now I need to go in again. They're not in their office. I have to make 2 trips to talk to somebody. Let's all go back to work. Let's put them in the office so when I can go in, I can ask questions. And if I have to talk to 4 different people, they're all in the office that day. I think it's time. I'd appreciate it because not everybody can run the email and the computer. Another thing we need to really look into is work ethic in Sutter County, especially the road maintenance department. I've been having fits with them. And it is too easy for them to go hide for half a day than it is to work a full day. No one's watching the hen house. It's terrible. I could go on for 30 minutes. It's just what I've seen in the last month. A real simple one was yesterday afternoon with a culvert in Sutter plugged up. 2 o'clock, I'm going over to my ranch. We have 7 county employees, 2 dump trucks, 3 pickups, a backhoe. I come back at 4 o'clock. The culvert's still plugged. They all went home. Next morning, now I'm upset because, these guys are paid to do the job. They don't know how to do the job. They have all the state-of-the-art new equipment, but nobody knows how to operate it. This morning at 6 o'clock, I went to the county yard and sat. Your crew started showing up at 10 minutes after 6. I figured they were going to work at 7 because within the week I passed a vehicle at 7:30 thinking they're doing a good job getting out of the yard. We'll come to find out they're going to work at 6:30, but they don't leave the yard until 7 because it's too dark. That's all I can figure. Because after the 3rd pickup left, I followed it. I followed it to the Sutter yard where they got out and started loading tools and whatnot and visited with their friends for 20 minutes. I'm still waiting to see who's going to clean the culvert. This guy's standing around the Sutter yard for an hour. 2.5 hours later, a backhoe and 2 gentlemen pull up. They got some apparatus they're trying to work on the culvert with. And after watching them for 30 minutes, I called Neil and said, you're going to have a big problem here. They're going to get a hold of a phone line, a gas line, or tear your culvert out. At noon, they have a water truck. Their big fix now is they're pumping the water from one side of the culvert to the other across the road.
You almost finished, Brad.
I'm almost done. But a $200,000 water truck moving water for no reason, so we look like we're busy. Because out of Woodland or Sacramento, here comes a great big vacuum truck I pass. I call my wife, go, hey, did the vacuum truck pull up 5 minutes ago? Yeah, it did. It's going to fix the culvert. How much did the county spend to unplug a culvert where you could have got your boots on? If any employee had a pair of boots and got down the ditch and found the end of the pipe with a rake, they could have pulled the plug out. I guarantee it was an $8,000, $10,000 bill out there for us, and nothing got done.
Thank you, Brad.
Through the chair, I don't believe Brad really wanted to speak on that. Brad, I believe, Mr. Foster, I believe you wanted to speak on item number 15, the firefighters.
Firefighters, I think
But
the county needs to.
can you? I'm sorry, Supervisor, but that's what was on the agenda. I believe that's what he wanted to
Yes.
speak about. And
the firemen need to be paid, and there's so much waste in other parts of the county, but it's not earmarked for the firemen. I can save enough money on that one department to pay every one of these guys triple time by the lack of work that they do. But no one holds anybody's hand to the fire. But now all of a sudden you say, "Look, that's special money to go over there." That's not what we need. You know, I moved out to Sutter. The first thing you got to pay a special tax because you're special. You live out there. We don't pay for your firemen. They pay for every fireman in the county. Another problem with the fire department is they got too many toys. And now, if I don't have anything to do with their wages, if they can buy toys, but they don't have anybody to drive them, they have more trucks than they have people that can operate them. South Sutter County guy that got a new fire truck. If you have too many up here, why do we have to buy a new one? Why wouldn't we just send one of these down there and save the county $750,000? This is how the public thinks, because we have to cover our butts. We just can't hand money out that we don't have, or just tax people more to get it. But think about it. There's trucks up here that they're just being stored. And you bought a brand new one to send down there. Nobody knows this, but when you pay attention, you go to these meetings and you find out we got more trucks than we have guys that can legally drive them, something's going on. Because I listen. I'm not college educated, but I listen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brad. Okay.
Through the chair.
Yes.
If I may comment. The CSAF, the County Fire Department, is a county service area, which is a form of special district. And there's government code that states that the board cannot use general fund money and just give it to a special district for use. They can loan money, ultimately can possibly forgive it if certain findings are made. But I just want the public to be aware of that it's not as simple as just taking money from other budgets and putting it in there. So we've offered several times to sit down with different folks that have questions to explain this stuff. We occasionally have folks take us up on it, but we're always willing to sit down and meet and discuss it. We just, it's pretty information heavy, and we just want the time to prepare and answer questions for folks. Thanks.
I'd like to just say a couple of things, maybe. And Deborah, you tell me if I'm getting over the line. Okay, so Steve is absolutely correct. Every special assessment, every fire district, Area F, Oswald, Tudor, is Sutter, and Live Oak are all part of Area F. But Pleasant Grove, East Nicholas, Robbins, Robbins is his own animal, and Meridian are all part of independent assessment districts. And they're taxed by those assessment districts to fund those departments, just like Area F is. And Area F and all the fire districts were all set up originally under one flat fee with no escalator. And I believe it happened in the mid to late 90s that it got set up. Well, what do things cost today versus the mid-90s? Obviously, today is significantly more, and it's inadequate funding. So far, I haven't stepped over the line, right?
No, I think we're getting close.
Okay. So that is why it is difficult to come up with a tax plan that's fair. And in order, if we were to kind of try to raise that fee, it would require a 2/3 vote. It's not a 218, but it would still require a 2/3 vote. And it would have to be in Area F only, where the money is going. That it was informational.
Supervisors, I do concern, we're entering into discussions when we start to add in on different opinions on the funding source for the fire department, which is away from the agendized item.
Right.
I would just chime in to make a motion unless you have some, Supervisor Flores. No. I'd like to make a motion to accept the pay raise for the firefighters.
Were you
motion?
Through the chair. You were second? Yeah, go ahead.
He's got a comment.
Mike?
No, I got a comment. All right. Like my colleagues have said all along, and so forth, and Public safety is number one. It's always been number one in my heart. It's always been number one in my colleagues' hearts. I'm proud to serve along with these fellows because they know where my heart's at. My dad started the fire department at Sutter. I was a volunteer there. My brother's still the volunteer. They're president of the Volunteer Association out there. I'm honored to work with guys like John that have their leadership, and Epperson and Gene and fellows like yourself and the young ladies that we have there at the department. We're lucky to have you guys. Really lucky. We know that you can go anywhere. Matter of fact, you know, when I first ran, that's the one thing we talked about, or I pitched to you. I said, my goal is to be within 5% of anywhere and win everyone over by the camaraderie, the feel that they felt, you know, the wanting to come to work, and the group of people you're working with. That's what I value. That's what everyone. It's not work when you get to go to work, you know, go somewhere and you love what you do. And it's been an honor. I mean, I'm happy to vote for this. I'm happy that this is a step in the right direction. A step in the right direction. All right? And I'm glad that you guys I'm glad that you guys feel that you could reach out to any of us and just talk about how things are going. You know, just chit-chat, and I'm glad that you guys put in the extra effort, not just to firefighting, but the other efforts than there is to going into being a small community firefighter. I mean, you got a school board member, you got other coaches and so forth. You know, it's not just being a firefighter, it's being involved in the community. I want to thank you two in the back there, Tanner, for coming up to the meeting. You know, Tanner, I love the fact that, you know, you go to a lot of these community events, you always hit me up and you say, hey, Mike, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I said, hey, we're working on stuff. I said, we're always working on stuff. That's how my mind's always working it. And for me, it always starts with public safety. Starts here first, then wherever it ends, so be it. But it starts with public safety first. All right, we'll make everything else add up after we start with the public safety. All right? But that's how it's been as long as I've been a supervisor, and I can't take credit because it was like that before me. Over the last 10 years, it's been that way. I've seen the guys, the way this board has voted, and I've seen the numbers. And I'm happy to sit down with anyone, that anyone has any questions on where the budget's going and so forth. That's neither here nor there, but give us a holler. Any one of us sit down and love to show you the books. I always keep I keep a budget book at my company in Sutter as well. So, all right, thank you very much. Matter of fact, I'll vote yes on this if she's doing the roll call. All right.
I'd just like to say one quick thing. I was a volunteer fireman in East Neck for over 20 years, and I would like you guys, if you ever have any questions, feel to reach out to me and ask me any questions you want about fire or anything else in the county. So we have a motion and a second.
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye.
Hey, guys.
Okay. Item 15 passes. I did have a late speaker card. Tony Farley has a comment. Would you like to take the podium, please?
Tony Farley from South Sutter County, in your regard about the trucks. Sutter County Fire near Red Road have an OES, a retired OES truck, the green one I saw. I like it. OES truck is 1990s model, like my year. Yeah, they're not toys. They're equipment that save lives. They call them toys. They're not toys. They're equipment. They're called emergency OES equipment, like stuff I like to have. Sutter County Sheriff also have a Bearcat, the civilian MRAB. I like that. I support public safety. I'm a volunteer. I'm a volunteer of the county. I should volunteer with the fire department, or become a reserve deputy with the sheriff department, reserve officer with the police department. So yeah, I here thank everybody for service. All the board supervisors, county council. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Scott Smallwood, the 2 stars. Thank you, Tanya, the former dispatch manager. Now she's an investigative assistant, pretty much. Thank you, 2 fire captains right there. Thank you, 4-star County Sheriff Brandon Barnes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chief Shotwitz. Thank you, Katie Perry right there, the deputy. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, they're not toys. They're equipment to save lives. They're not toys. They're surplus equipment.
Okay. Thank you, Tony. Item number 16, follow-up reports and announcements. Steve Smith.
You know, through the chair, I think it is imperative that we really fast, because it wasn't part of that, but I would just want to make sure, I want to clarify that vote we just voted on, those firefighters, that did not include a few other personnel. So just to clarify, when people look at that, and there are negotiations going on right now and so forth, so I just wanted to clarify. I didn't want those that are watching at home, and you know, we have our chief here and so forth, and feel like that was a broad pay raise there. So just want to make sure that that is clarified there. So
through the chair, I agree with you 100%, Mike. You know, that's, I mean, we've talked about this and we're working on it. I don't want those guys to feel like they're left out from this, even though they weren't part of these negotiations. We are still working on that. And so I don't want them to feel left out of this or somehow slighted, but we're working on it. Okay. So thank you.
Okay. Steve, floor is yours.
Thank you. Not much, just that coming up we have a joint meeting with the city at 5 o'clock here. It's almost 4:15 now. So those who are available, if you want to stay, feel free.
Excuse me, through the chair. When are we doing our the comments about the ad hoc committee? When is that happening? You want to do that now or?
No, that's.
Oh, for tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. We have current board reports and commissions. Vacancies was a part of the agenda, and district reports now. Mike, would you like to start off?
Yeah, I'd like to close in memory of Alan Leary, who passed away happened earlier this month, was hit by a drunk driver. I went to elementary school with Alan, left behind 2 children. It's very sad. We're going into the holiday season. I know we're always be aware, but just be aware, and please don't drink and drive. You know, you have 1 drink or 2 drinks, you just think about it. Make a call. Call someone will give you a ride, and there's a lot of people out there that don't mind. I don't mind waking up at 2, 3, or 4, or 5 in the morning to go pick up a friend. It's real simple. It's not you're not bothering anyone, but make that call. It's not worth it. Or if you're tired or whatever. But very sad. Finishing off on a positive note, the Sutter Husky basketball team, men's basketball, won the Colusa tournament this weekend. The Sutter varsity, both varsity teams, the Sutter varsity soccer team won the tournament in Colusa this weekend. And then the JV boys basketball team won the basketball tournament in Colusa. So Sutter did really well in Colusa this weekend. And we'd like to hear about the other schools. I know I keep on bringing Sutter in there, but I try to keep tabs. But we'd love to brag about every school from this area on this side of the river. But please, let us know if how your elementary schools are doing, how your high school's doing, or even how the wrestling team is, because I believe it's wrestling season, basketball season, and soccer season. So good luck to those teams. 49ers won again. Sorry, Smallwood, but our undersheriff Smallwood, his Cowboys lost. But yeah, but so that's it for me, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I'd like to make sure we send a letter of condolence to Supervisor Baines and his family for the loss of his father-in-law. Supervisor Baines is out of the country now for the services for his father-in-law who passed away. So if we could do that, I'd ask for that. Also, I'd like to ask that we give recognition to a student who didn't graduate from Yuba City High School, but he was from Yuba City High School. And he went on and just received a full-ride scholarship to play basketball for Cornell University. His name is Mateen Rafiq, so I'm hoping we can give him some recognition. He did move out of Sutter County a couple of years ago, but definitely went to schools here all through until a couple of years ago. So I'd love to give him that recognition. And then thirdly and lastly, yes, don't drink and drive like like Supervisor Ziegemeyer mentioned, but I will tell you there are a lot of great parties going on in downtown Plumas Street. So, make sure to enjoy the variety of restaurants and the businesses that are going there, and be sure to shop local. It helps everybody in Sutter County and Yuba City as a whole. And enjoy your Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
No, I don't really have anything from District 1, but I know I'm going to be making some comments later when we talk about the work that we've done, because Supervisor Baines and myself are on the ad hoc committee for tax sharing agreement for a possible future tax measure. And I just want to say it so that all of you hear it. There has been a lot made of the fact that the city of Yuba City and the county don't get along. And I want to just dispel those rumors. We have a really good relationship with each other. We do. And some of those guys, I consider my friends, and we do have a good working relationship. And so I want everybody to understand that I know you hear a lot about it, but it's not true. It's not true. And we work very well together. Just like me and the rest of these gentlemen, all five of us work very well together and get along, and we're friends, and I consider them all friends. And want to wish all of you and all of the city council from the Yuba City and Live Oak Merry Christmas. I had the opportunity the other night to go to the Christmas party for behavioral health. Man, that was fantastic. I'm so glad that you guys do that. When I heard about that, I thought that was just going to be for the staff, right? But you guys brought the patients in and everything, and let them all enjoy themselves. And what a great night that was. It was so good. It was a lot of fun, and I was happy that I was invited to it, and it was great. It just makes me feel like, yeah, that's why we try to work as hard as we can to do what we do to try to help you guys. We know how hard you work. I know that you're in a lot of different departments, you're overworking, underpaid, but I just want to wish all of you a safe and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and be safe out there. Have a good one. Thank you.
I've turned it off. Sorry. Okay, I'd like to start on a pleasant note. The Board of Supervisors coloring contest ended on December 1st, and the winners of each group are Kamala Harris, 5 and under age group, and Cameron Mahoney, 6 to 10 years of age, and Zoe Plant, 11 to 15 year group, and Shanir Aziz, 16 and older group. And then Carm requested me to do the following condolences: Dilbar Singh and Steve Axel and Majit Tiara and Poto Prial for their would like letters sent to their families as well. And I would also like to be added to, I think we all want to be added to Carm's father-in-law's sad deal. Everybody, it's just, he's got to go through this with his lovely wife, and it's really tough. So anyway, and then one last condolence, Margaret Smote. Margaret, 71 years old, of West Coloma, passed away on Sunday, December 9th, 23, due to complications of dementia in a memory care unit, Woodbridge Senior Living in Clinton. Margaret worked as an agricultural biologist in Sutter County Agricultural Department until her retirement in 2017. Markey was always on the job, seeking insects, spiders, and other wildlife
and protecting Sutter County crops from infestation. Margaret is also known sometimes by taking her work home and having such pests as a tarantula and a miscar, hissing cockroach, and in addition to more traditional chickens, cats, dogs. For many years, Margie was served as a California master gardener and a volunteer in the California nutritional program run by UC Cooperative Extension. Margaret is survived by Robert Skirkland, her husband and partner of 30 years, whom she met while they were both employed at Plumas National Forest in Middle Fork, California, overlooking Honey Lake and Great Basin in Nevada from the eastern slopes of Sierra Nevada Forest. That concludes my report. I would just like to wish everybody and all of your families a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and just have fun with your families this Christmas season. Thank you. We need a motion. We don't have a motion yet.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Supervisor McKelly?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
You have a session?
Yes, oh, that's right. I forgot that. I thought I got on here.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.